Hey YouTubers, I found some information tonight doing some Google searches. I wanted to pass this on to everyone so that if they're in this same situation or know someone that it is, they can help them out or pass on this video to somebody. I'm doing the EGR delete on this 5.3 that I'm putting in my S10 Blazer. Also, I'm deleting the purge valve or the Evap setup that's on the very top behind the throttle body on these truck intakes. So I've been doing a lot of research. I'm like, oh, okay, you can order these EGR and Evap delete kits off eBay, pretty cheap. EGR block off, if you want to go simple, you can get them for around $10 to $15, all the way up to $50 if you want to get one of them really fancy, fully machined, billet aluminum, block off plates for looks or whatever. Or for the Evap, where the Evap or purge solenoid bolts to the top of the plenum right behind your throttle body. They sell little block off kits for it too, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, they're only like 10 or 15 bucks. That's not bad. So I'm just like, okay, I can spend easily $20 to $40, let's just say, and have this stuff shipped to my house, and I'm going to block it off, and I'm going to be good to go. I'm a little bit cheaper than that, so I start looking at, okay, why would I spend that kind of money when it's just a hole? I mean, is there something else I can find to plug the hole? Well, lo and behold, I just do a couple more Google searches. I find, I think the thread was maybe from 2010 or something like that. But I'm reading through this thing and people are saying, oh yeah, you can buy these kits that just comes with a metal expansion plug, like a freeze plug, like you put in a block, 35 millimeter, plugs the hole perfectly. They recommend that you put a little bit of RTV or some kind of sealant around it when you press it in or drive it in the intake hole. So I'm like, okay. And then I read a little bit further. Lo and behold, they even give you the part number. So I'm looking at these kits on eBay. They're like 10 bucks. That comes with the little metal expansion plug and a shorter screw that you can put in that little hole that holds the EGR in the intake. I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna look this up. So basically, to plug the hole in the side of the intake where your EGR valve setup came out, they are reporting that you get a Dorman 555-093 metal expansion plug. Clean everything, put a little sealant on it, gently tap it in the hole, and it's done. I looked it up online a little while ago in my local area, Raymore, Missouri. It was 69 cents through O'Reilly's. And I'm thinking, okay, I think I'll spend 69 cents and buy a stupid freeze plug or expansion plug to put in the hole. I did find other threads, and I was kind of on board with this idea until I thought about how ugly it would be. If you go to the auto parts store, I think on the help aisle, they sell, it's kind of like where if your engine blew out a freeze plug or an expansion plug and you were really in a pickle, they sell a rubber expansion plug that has like a 1/4 inch or some kind of bolt that goes through the middle of it. And basically you buy it to fit a range of sizes of holes, and you can stick it in the hole and tighten that bolt in the middle or the nut in the middle, and it'll expand that rubber plug out and seal the hole. Well, apparently when people very first started doing EGR deletes on these LS intakes, that was a real popular way of sealing that hole. A lot of people don't like them because they're ugly. I don't know, maybe they deteriorate over time, I don't know. But I noticed that I didn't see a lot of recent posts during this search showing them using that type of setup. So I'm like, okay, I'm kind of looking at getting this little metal 555-093 and sealing up that EGR 35 millimeter hole or whatever it is. I got that. But I still didn't have an economical way to seal off that stupid purge valve hole. So then I thought, well, if you can put a metal expansion plug in the EGR hole, why can't you put it in that other hole, in the purge valve hole? a 1/2 inch expansion plug almost will go in there. Maybe if I was a little bit more, if I wanted to gamble a little bit more, I might be able to get that thing to go in the hole. But in my mind, metal versus plastic intake, the plastic's going to lose. So before I could, convince myself to keep trying to drive it in the hole, I decided to abandon that idea. Well then, just before I was going to get out of the shop and head back upstairs, I was like, why couldn't I just modify a portion of the stupid purge valve and use it to plug the stupid hole? So basically what I did was I took the purge valve, if you can see that, and I sawzalled the end of it off because I was wanting to cut off enough of it, leaving the mounting tab. I wanted to see what was inside of it. So I basically just put it in my vise. I started doing it with a hand hacksaw because it's kind of late at night here at my house. I ended up using the sawzall to cut it off because there is some like stainless steel or something in there that's kind of hard to cut through. But I basically lopped the end of it off, and I've got a perfect plug. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me get over here and get it out of the vise here. I'll show you what I ended up with, and I'm just like, okay. So when you cut that off, I don't know if you can see it with the light. It's basically a hollow chamber. So I've got the mounting tab. This side thing it's not open. That's a solid port. It goes nowhere. So I'm looking at it and I'm going, okay, what do I need to do here to plug this off? And really, right there in the center. The other side, you got your O-ring with your main hole that would do the purge. Roll it over. All you got is this little bitty hole that you can easily plug with a screw. Okay, so I'm like, okay, let's I cut it off, kind of ran it under the wire wheel, and get some of that peeled off, might make it look a little bit better. But I ran it under my wire wheel for just a few, a little bit to clean it up, make it look a little bit better. So then I'm like, all right, let's dig in the toolbox. So I basically dug around in my toolbox, or my junk drawer, until I found a screw that I felt was the appropriate size for that hole so that I could just block it off. Basically, here it is. Just a small, fairly fine, thread screw. I'm going to dip it in a little bit of right stuff. If you see in the video, try not to be too crazy here. I dipped it in some more right stuff. Now I'm going to basically screw this and seat it into this hole. Don't want to strip it out or anything, but I definitely want it to be tight enough that it seats down on there 100%. I can see it seated on that little nipple because that right stuff is oozing out. So now let's just see what we got. Boom. See if you guys can see it. I'm trying to get the light just right. It's sealed. Block off. Purge valve block off. If you wanted to be picky about it, you could easily take something and just silicone or right stuff something in this hole to make it look pretty. You could even probably buy just a solid blank of aluminum and RTV it in the hole to make it look a little bit better. But basically what I'm going to do, take a little bit of Vaseline. I'm going to condition this O-ring so you guys can see that. Put a little bit of Vaseline on that O-ring because it is from 2000. It's probably not the most flexible O-ring left on the planet. And then I don't know what this little jobber did, but this little gray piece was on this tab like that. Now I apologize, I gotta move the tripod. We're going in here to the splayed cap 4.3 work area here. Oh, sorry. It's an impromptu video because I didn't know I was going to be doing this tonight. So then I've got my intake right here, where all I have to do is install my block off. That is so crazy. Like, I'm just sitting here going, why did I spend so much time worrying about this stupid block off? Let's see if I get this thing started in there. So basically what I'm looking at is a free 100% safe purge valve block off. I don't know. I literally spent all that time worrying myself about spending the money or finding an alternative idea to blocking off that hole. And then I was like, well, let's see if we can modify that end that's left on this thing. Grab out our little 8mm here. So what would you think would seal off that hole and give me, and you can tell, I'm not going to tighten this thing super hard. Snug it down real good. Boom. Purge valve hole sealed. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's not going to hurt anything. It's not going to have a vacuum leak. And as long as you can dig in your toolbox and find a little small shanked, screw, put a little RTV or right stuff on there, boom, free plug. So now I'm looking at saving that $20 to $40 that I originally was gonna blow on those stupid EGR and purge valve delete kits, and I'm gonna end up spending nothing for the top purge valve plug, and then I'm going to go and try to get that 555-093 freeze plug or expansion plug and try to get the side EGR hole blocked on it tomorrow. So hopefully I'm looking at both those holes blocked off, fairly decent looking, for like $1. And plus my time, I guess, driving over to the parts store to try to get that piece. But I just wanted to kind of show you guys how if you just kind of keep working it and running it through your head and using the crap that you got laying around, sometimes you can actually make some good savings and end up with a decent setup. So I appreciate you guys watching these videos. I apologize again. Haven't been uploading them near as much as I want to. I do have a few videos that I've worked on, but I can't upload them at this time because I don't have the stupid internet. So anyway, I got my intake, trying to get those 2 holes plugged. Then I can install it on the long block, which is already in the car. So anyway, we are still making progress on the S10 Blazer, and I can't wait to get her running because I just want to kind of see how it sounds and how she runs. Thank you guys.